The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances.
Welcome everyone to this week's Spotlight with that B. This is episode 14, and today I decided to do part 2 of New Music Alert, but this is all females. So as I mentioned in my last episode, I had selected an album and some new songs from artists that some are familiar to most of you, and some are new artists. Some are new artists to myself, not so new to others, but they're definitely people that are worth mentioning, that have amazing talent and have new music out. So last week, as I mentioned, I had put together a list, but I had noticed in the list that it was something where there were no females. Now, I already knew that one of the ladies on the list for today was coming out with an album, and I was waiting on this phenomenal artist to come out with their album so I can actually speak on it and spotlight it. So she did make the list. I got lucky because it happens to be that after my spotlight, the album was dropped. And that is the Queen, Mariah Carey. And people that know me know that I love me some Mariah. I post songs all the time with Mariah. In my eyes, vocally, she can do no wrong. I know everybody has their preferences for different types of artists and, different types of even voices. But for me, definitely the majority of her songs are part of my soundtrack to life. I have been listening to Mariah since she first came out. And I believe I was in high school at the time. If not, I was fresh out of high school. So, with that said, we're going to get to the list. Now I am going to leave my perspective or my spotlight on Mariah's new album for the final artist for today. So I do want to start off my spotlight with an artist that a lot of you are already familiar with. It's an artist that works often with producers that also have a big hand in my soundtrack to life, because the majority of their songs of their catalog are joints that, again, I've listened to for years, and that's Jermaine Dupri and Brian Michael Cox, BMC as I call him. So I think they're both uber talented. And I think she's a new artist because I didn't really hear too much of this particular artist before, till most recently. And for me, this particular artist, her voice and the things she does with her voice, even her oohs, because I'm not even going to try and do it, but her ooh, for me, it takes me out. She has a particular way of, I believe the term is, doing runs where her vocals are insane. And they're just different, and they're super soulful, and that artist is Ari Lennox. So I got a clip for RG to show y'all Her new song is called Vacancy. Man, when I say sexy, apart from the fact that she's gorgeous, um, she is definitely someone that um, her vocals are they hot. um, you could listen the type of vibe I think, and I think this is what I'm trying to put together in my mind. The type of vibe I believe her music is something where you want to get in a hot tub and just light some candles, think about your someone, your person, and just completely be mesmerized by not just the lyrics, not just not just the music, but also by again her her talent and the way she delivers um the entire vibe. I mean, and that's the way I feel when I listen to her music. This song is no different. Again, it's a super sexy song. Her one of her last songs, which I really, really was digging to, was "Soft Girl Era," and I'm not too much of a soft girl, but once again, that definitely had me vibing to it and wearing pink and whatnot. So again, Ari Lennox, new music alert. Um, the song is Vacancy. You're gonna be able to hear it when our G shoots up the video for you guys. I strongly suggest you follow her. Um, I love everything she's putting out. It's definitely different than other things you hear, and I'm not surprised because since it is something where she's being produced and she's collabing with two of the best, if not the best right now, which is JD and BMC. I'm not surprised. Um, I definitely would love to see her do a duet with some sexy, young, talented young buck. So I can't wait in case you know what her and Division should do something together. Um, because I think their voices just would mesh really, really well. So that's my first song. I'm trying to see what I want to do next. The next, I only have a few for you guys today, but because I wanted to speak on them on my selection um, a little bit more, and not have to rush, but to actually give my perspective on how the music makes me feel. So the next song that I chose is, I believe this is a remix. I saw it on Instagram, and it was something that Salt from Salt and Peppa brought out. And man, I believe the song is called Chosen. Go on her page. Phenomenal. Phenomenal, phenomenal. For those that say that classic, because I believe this is the term now that they like to use, classic hip hop artists are boring, or that their bars or their content is something where it is it is not inspiring, or where it's something that you're going to say that they're old school, and that the topics don't make you feel anything. None of this applies to soul. I was actually talking with RG before the live started, and he was like, "Oh no, she's like an icon. She's like one of the legends." I agree. Um, I don't, and I know in one of the verses, she is saying how she writes her own lyrics. Man, let me tell you, I hung on every word. She killed this song. I really do hope that this means that we are to expect more, because I'm floored. I love the song. I loved it where I often will repost things on Instagram because I do want to share my platform and I want to enlighten, especially the younger generation, with the people I see that they might necessarily not pay attention to, but because they're a classic, for example, a classic hip hop artist, um, there ain't nothing old about anything going on with this song, yo. Um, I have gone back to the repost multiple times at this point because that's how much I'm really digging that song. So, that would be my put on, if anything, for y'all for this week. Because I know a lot of people didn't seem to make a big deal about the song, and I really do think that they should be. So, again, I believe from her post, go on her IG page. From her post, I believe the title of the song is called Chosen. Um, Phenomenal. Bars on top of bars. Um, man, amazing song. So I really, really do hope that this means that we are going to get more. If y'all know me, you know I love classic hip hop. And two of my favorite MCs of all time, one is LL Cool J and the other is MC Light. And I knew Salt and Pepper was good, but I did not realize that Salt had this pen game. Bananas. The bars, the writing, I mean, insane. I really, really do enjoy the song. I really do hope that this means that she is gonna give us more because I feel like I need more. More of what I heard? Yes. Yes, please. Sí, por favor. So the next artist I have is, to me, it's a new artist. I have never heard of this artist. I don't ever recall seeing this artist on Instagram. So it might be new to all of you as well. But I watched quite a few of her reels, of the videos with the songs that she has, and oh my God, this young lady's voice blew my mind. First of all, I'm digging her entire look. I love the hair. I love the mesmerizing peacefulness type of vibe that she's giving out. Like the energy that her music is releasing. It is definitely super sexy. Um, like I love to use the word mesmerizing when I'm talking about music because I literally feel like I am in a trance with a lot of the artists that I like because I get so involved and so into the lyrics and the music, that I really do feel like I am in a trance, like they have me mesmerized, which is why I like to use that term. And this young lady is definitely not far behind on the mesmerizing tip because I caught myself watching reel after reel after reel. So her name is Jasmine Wesley. Again, to me, she's a brand new artist. I hope I am putting you all on to her because, again, I couldn't get out of her page. So I posted, or I reposted a couple of her reels. I would recommend you go on her page and you check her out because, man, she is a phenomenal talent. I'm wondering this. If she's not new, how come I have not heard of her before? Because more people should definitely um, be talking about her, and I would love to see her actually collab and work with one of these big producers like Jermaine Dupri or Brian Michael Cox or both. Because man, her talent is insane. And I believe the video I have, she's playing a guitar. So your vocals are insane and you play instruments? Oh my God. Yes. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Um, she is also an artist, I would say, that when you're trying to be in a particular vibe, like when you're in the hot tub or when you're taking a nice, bubble bath and you're just trying to be like in your Zen mode, as I like to call it, in your whole kumbaya mode, this is definitely somebody you should be listening to. Yeah, I would also like to see her collab and do a duet with some young up and coming phenomenal young buck. Young buck is what I call young men, by the way, you guys. So I am almost on, or I'm actually on my last artist. I only did 4 today, uh, because I am going to devote a little bit more time to speaking on, again, one of my favorite artists of all time, Mariah Carey. I know, like myself, she's had a lot of loss within the past few years. Um, I believe this is why she puts out the quality work that she puts out. As far as her pen game, man, when I found out a couple years ago that she actually writes a lot of her music. And then when I heard JD not so long ago, when, she was getting all her accolades and, awards, and the discussions were up about who was the best and who's the top in R&B, and Mariah kept on being mentioned, and JD's always having her back. And I agree with him. I think she's a phenomenal talent. Um, and him co-signing the fact that yes, that she is in charge for the majority of her music as far as writing, and she produces a lot, and she's very heavy involved in her work. It honestly, it makes me value it a lot more. Not only is she a female, and I've asked this of people before, where I've asked, how come you don't really hear too much about female producers and writers? And here is one of the best examples I could have. And not only am I a huge fan of her pen game, but I'm a huge fan of her vocals. I think I just stuttered there. So again, I'm a huge fan of her vocals. Um, she's one of the main female artists, besides people like Janet Jackson, who are in my top 5. Whitney Houston, um, for me, Toni Braxton, all these quality artists with these phenomenal voices. They're really my soundtrack to life. Their music and their their whole brand. Not only is it inspiring to me, because they're females, and um, they're very what's the word I want to use, boss. Uh, they're very hands on with their content and their brand. And that is something that is super inspiring to someone like me who does everything that I do. And even though I'm not an artist, it is still something where I still do my spotlights. I associate often enough with people from the business, as y'all call it. So I do like to get inspiration and 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 check out the way other women who are in the forefront of a very masculine energy. I'm trying to find the politically correct words for this, but pretty much an industry that is run by the majority of men. So I think for me, that makes all her content and her catalog, it makes it much more inspiring, and it also makes it for me something where I value it more. I see that the hard work and the dedication that she puts into everything that she does. I see how she has the mentality of, um, I'm not going to listen to the haters. I'm not going to listen to, social media or whatever's going on. I'm going to do what I think is best for my brand. And, if at times I need to boss it up and be called the diva, well, then you know what? That's just what's going to need to happen, because I have to be pleased with my final product. Um, so, with that said, let's talk about the album. Banger after banger after banger after banger. Um, so many. I like every song. For me, it is a no skips album once again. So I'm gonna mention a couple songs that I'm really, really digging off the album. Now, people that know me, from when the song dropped, I would not stop posting that song. Um, love the song Dangerous. Um, I use it at times to refer to my sunshine. So, Dangerous is definitely one of the songs that I'm really, really, really enjoying. I found another song after the album was dropped, and um, her her lyrics and the way she put together analogies, and the way her pen and the way she tells a story, or the way she communicates certain things is just so damn witty, where she is another one of these artists where they just make you wish that you could think of all these things that they are saying, because witty is an understatement. Um, this definitely applies to the majority of her work, but this album for sure has that, including um, Dangerous. And the album's called Here for It All. Um, Boss move on her end. Real diva-ish of you. I I completely love the title of the album. You should be here for it all. It's about time that people start putting respect on Mariah Carey's name. And I'm glad to see that she's getting all the awards lately and all the accolades and the respect. I believe she deserves it. Um, so the term I would definitely like to use to describe, for me, an artist like Mariah Carey, and this is why I am really big in supporting her, is that from when I was young, the one word that stands out to me to describe her is independent. And for me, this is why she's super inspiring, because she is so independent. I know at times women, we get accused as being divas, but because because we are independent and we want to make sure that, since it is our brand, we want to make sure that if we're going to be putting out our work, our brand, in her case, with her pen and with her vocals and the final results of the content she's putting out for everybody, it is something where I feel you really do need to be independent and at times come off as a diva, because it is something where it's your name on the line. To me, the fact that that is part of her personality, it is super inspiring to a woman like me. So when I hear albums where she's using her pen to describe um, experiences she's had in life, and they're just so witty. And again, things that I wish at times, maybe I've been in these situations, and at times I've wished I could say these things. It's good to see that there's music I could log on to whatever device and listen to, and know that through her music I can feel I am expressing these feelings. I hope that makes sense to people, because for me, music, that's what it helps me do. It helps me sometimes communicate my emotions, and at times it also helps me process my emotions. And her music definitely does that for me. Again, the album is called Here for It All. Dangerous is one of the joints I am really loving. She has a song on there called My Love that stood out to me because of the lyrics. I thought, again, a lot of the songs I just think are so witty. And it's the way everything is arranged, from the lyrics to the music to her vocals. Um, there is a video I chose that actually shows and communicates my thoughts on her pen, and the wittiness of how she puts everything together in her lyrics. And on this particular album, that song, and I chose the video, I grabbed it, so RG's gonna play it for you guys. The song is called In Your Feelings. And it's her, it's like her talking to a man. And a lot of these songs, it seems like it's her talking to um, to her person, or to an ex, or to her man or her partner, or whatever term you want to use. But in all the songs, whether she's talking about how she's in love with the person, or how in your feelings, she is, she's telling it like it is. um, Phenomenal album. I had heard, and I'm gonna give this person props. I had heard initial months ago. I want to say it was months ago. I had heard Jay Valentine talking on his live about how he had gotten a hold of the album, and I don't know if he had gone to a listening party, or I don't remember the specifics. But I know back then he said this was going to be an album that was definitely going to stand out. And man, he was not lying. I am very impressed. I don't think I should be, because of how she is in my top female artists. But man, this album is just like the last one I discussed from last week, JD's album. It is banger after banger after banger. For me, it's a no skips. Now, mind you, she is one of my favorite artists, so it might not be necessarily that way for others, but have a listen to it. And I have a feeling it is going to be no skips for everyone else too. Um, I wish her nothing but the best and continued success. She definitely deserves it. I'm glad finally people are opening up their eyes and realizing a lot of these awards and accolades she's getting have been a long time coming, and it's about time. So now that I am done gushing about MC Mariah, we go back like fires. There's a few, and by a few I mean at least three of my followers that when they come in my lives, they love to tell me how I resemble Mariah Carey. I think it's the hair. Either way, whatever it is, keep the compliments coming because again, she's one of my favorite artists. It is not intentional, but let me tell you, I could definitely have. I could definitely be told that I resemble somebody way worse. So it is an entire compliment, is how I take it. But one of them, one of these followers, loves to always repeat that part of the song, which is Mariah. We go back, babies. So I love to repeat it too. Now it's like embedded in my brain. Um, I see it again as that people just trying to compliment me, and I really do appreciate it because for somebody that is such a big fan of hers, it is an entire compliment, and I really do appreciate it when people do that. Um, it makes me blush, to be honest with you. Again, it could be worse. The people that they could be saying you resemble, I could be like, no. so, so now that I'm done gushing about Queen Mariah, I could end this week's spotlight. Please go listen to all these songs. They're all phenomenal artists. All the songs that I selected and Mariah's album are definitely something that, if you like music, if you like R&B, or hip hop, um, these are definitely songs that I hope become part of y'all playlists too. Um, I know they are definitely new additions to my playlist. So I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode with part two of new music. Um, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. Um, I've been I've been receiving feedback where there are other artists that are looking to be mentioned in my spotlights with new music. Um, I'm definitely down with doing more of these new music alerts episodes. Um, but I do want to still also spotlight my events and spotlight certain artists that I do want to bring on and have some conversations with on the live here for you. So all that will be in the works. I will keep everyone posted on what it is I decide to do for the next episode, which will be episode 15. I do have an event coming up, um, but it's going to be this particular event. It's going to be touch and go on whether or not I'm going to be able to make it. But it should be. I think it's going to be in 2 weeks, so it might come around too late for my spotlight. But I will keep everyone posted. If you want to know what it is that I am going to be either spotlighting or what it is that I am sharing in regards to new music or new artists, favorite podcasts, things that I believe that are part of the culture that you should be in the know about, please follow me on my Instagram page, and that's that underscore B74. I do have a page on pretty much all platforms with the same handle. But my main way of accessing me and getting a lot of details and information on the things that I recommend is my Instagram page. So feel free to go in, check it out. And as always, on all my platforms, if you see me, um, like, follow, share, repost, all of it. I'm here for it all. Everybody have an amazing day, night, depending on where you are, what time of day that it is. Um, Most of all, spread love, be kind to others, and walk with integrity. Everyone, peace.